Welcome to the Isle Chat podcast with me, Beth,
Josh
and Ryan.
This podcast is all about exploring the big questions, the small moments and everything in between.
Whether you're stuck at the shops, in traffic or just looking for some inspiration, our chat is here to keep you engaged.
It's time to talk, connect and find meaning in those everyday moments.
Welcome to the Isle Chat.
Everyone's feeling the love, everyone's calling it the love season. How do you think Valentine's Day normally goes down in the Worthington household?
In ours, we always make like I wouldn't say a big deal out of it, but we always make sure that we get like the foundational things, so like cards, flowers for it. And now obviously there's two additional Valentines for me and my two kids. So I always make sure I get them like a little basket of like Valentine's stuff, do you know what I mean? Little tiny things, because it's more about the sentiment in ours than it is the huge occasion.
Okay, here's a question for you. I have a little boy, so I'm not going to do Valentine's Day for him.
Beth can.
But she hasn't.
Well, I didn't get Valentine's Day off you.
We don't do Valentine's Day in our house.
Well, we were literally talking about this just a second ago, weren't we? About like how you don't celebrate it. Is that the right way to say it?
No, I think what it was, when we first started dating, it was that you get pushed in by social media to do Valentine's Day. Everyone makes you feel guilty for not doing it. And then I think around COVID time, we just sort of packed it in. And our anniversary...
Our anniversary's the next month.
Why though? So. Because I would have thought, obviously, if you were doing like a gesture of going out for Valentine's Day, that would have made sense in COVID because you couldn't go. But I think if you'd have more time at home, it would have been more time to make a card or, the sentiment. That's just how I am sometimes.
I don't know, just...
Excuses.
No, do you know what it is, right?
It's just dropping one thing at a time. First it was the engagement ring. Now it's Valentine's Day.
No,
Poor girl's got nothing left.
Honestly, right, I'm one of them and I sound like a proper Scrooge, but I do think Valentine's Day is just being like forced on people.
Like a Halloween.
Yeah.
Like a forced holiday.
Yeah. And I just think it's Valentine's Day every day for you, love.
Is it?
Yeah. Obviously doesn't think the same.
No, we do like our own Valentine's Day,
yeah.
but we don't get forced into like, I hate doing
the
cards.
Machine.
Yeah.
We wait till the 15th of Feb when everything's on sale.
Yeah.
All the flowers
And
are
then
half price and then we'll do sort of...
We like flowers in the house anyway. Some people like that. People like buying flowers.
We said this
for the
before,
house.
didn't we? Like, you buy it for that. And I get it. I think everyone celebrates it differently. I know people who literally don't even acknowledge it, like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Don't do a card, don't do nothing. Like, don't even say, happy Valentine's Day, nothing like that. Not even like a little cup of tea in the morning. Which, each to their own. But I mean, for me, like, maybe it's just me being a bit like soft, and maybe it's got something to do with the girls and stuff. I don't know.
No, my cousin,
but I'm like a big Valentine's.
Some lads and some girls obviously go out and absolutely spend a fortune on just relating to our current situation. My cousin went out and brought the flowers here, and obviously they look great. And I said, how much were they? So what's your cut off for spending on flowers?
This might
come into weddings actually.
Are you asking me? I think for flowers, I don't think there's a cut off per se, but what I was saying before, even though I'm a big Valentine's, I'm not a materialistic Valentine's. Some people love the big, like, they'll literally buy someone like a setup from an events company or stuff like that, and it'll be like a big grand thing.
Yeah.
That is lovely, and I think it makes
it looks great as well.
But I'm just more about the sentiment. So not that I'm cheaping out on the flowers, not on
paper flowers.
I'll have like a limit, but even Becky herself will say like, that's stupid. That
did you have flowers on your wedding day? While I'm thinking about it, did you like
fresh flowers?
Fresh flowers, yeah. Becky had it.
So obviously you're not like against real flowers in that sense.
No.
Did you have
the two girls got a little rose each in their little? It was like a little bag. Had like a few little chocolatey bits in. I got them as things.
Did you get them or did Becky get them?
Listen, when it comes to loving ours, it's all about me.
I missed the loving ours.
By the way, I got all the stuff from ours there, so it weren't really that like a thing.
No, that's nice.
I got them each like a little pack of chocolates, the little chocolate coins that were all covered in hearts. A little box, and it was basically like a little key inside with a little red ribbon on it. Said the key to my heart. So they've got one of them each. Like, and that, I hope they'll keep them. Do you know what I mean? So I like the sentiment. So the value of what was paid for it is different to the value of what it means.
Kids love all stuff like that, don't they, as well?
Do they?
Yeah.
Because they opened it and moved it. But they
to the chocolate.
They both got a little real rose each. Like, and they were £4 each.
£4?
Talk about inflation.
But you weren't the only one who bought the kids flowers, I believe. Gifts.
In your household.
Gifts.
Didn't
your little girl, little knock on the door?
Yeah, so Thea, obviously I'm not giving too much away about her identity, trying to protect her here, but she's only 7. She's about to turn 8 in May, but she's only 7 at the moment. And obviously they're all on half term at the moment, the kids, which makes it even nicer really. that this little boy, that they all have like, obviously in primary school, you all have like little boyfriends and stuff, but you're not really like girlfriends and boyfriends, you're just assigned, aren't you?
You keep telling yourself that.
I know, yeah. But I'll knock him out tomorrow. This little kid, Joseph, is like her little boyfriend in school, basically. And his mum, like they've got like a mum's group of the class. And his mum said, Joseph has got a little card, a little gift for theatre, if it's all right to come around. So obviously we passed the address. And then he knocked on the door and he had a little shirt on, a little pants. And he bought like a little box and it had like a, was it meat? Do you remember the meat to you?
They cost a fortune.
I know. Me to you card and like a little chocolate rose. But like he knocked and went, "Hi Thea, happy Valentine's Day." We've got it all on the Ring doorbell, which is which is dead nice. But yeah, I can appreciate the respect of him.
Honestly, any lad who does that, even at that age,
especially as it's half term, he could have just like, if they were in school, he would have just given.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like, come out of his way.
He's come out of his way to like make sure. And I don't know, I don't know this, but I don't know if any of the other little boyfriends did that. So this lad might be a little stick around
he's
for a while.
The one,
yeah. That's 7, so does he married off?
Before we bring our guest on this week, obviously we're not doing like review of the week or anything like that, but this week, if you want Beth to pull your phone up, or do you remember it word for word?
which?
No, I was just going to bring up Lydia's message.
Lydia's message.
So
I thought you were
talking about something else.
Oh, sorry.
Both caught out there. Yeah.
Sorry, I caught them both off. Just me, throwing curveballs. So this week we had a message from a previous bride, and I'm talking from 2019, I would say. And basically, since 2019, she's went on to have her own little family, which is great. We love seeing people go on to like do things like that. And she basically has obviously been rewatching the wedding film, but now her little boy, who's obviously old enough to watch the film.
Is he getting married?
Well, if you need a videographer, there's the come. But yeah, basically
she wrote a message to us saying, "We shown our little boy our wedding video yesterday, and his reaction to seeing us was the best thing ever. He was proper amazed that we was on the telly, and he wanted to watch it like 5 times. Hadn't even thought about that when we booked yous, but it was the best little feeling ever seeing his little face."
How nice is that?
That is cute, that.
Because obviously you do, after the wedding day, you sort of, people just go on through their own things, stuff like that. For her just to go to wait and that, I thought, I like people like that.
Clearly it had a big impact on their household, didn't it?
Yeah. I think
what are you going to do?
About what?
When Jude watches the wedding video back?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jude will get married himself at that point.
Jude will get married before me.
Oh, yeah. If I tell everyone what was happening yesterday when we were walking through town, bloody hell.
Go on then.
We did have a little window shop at Rings. Just, putting them in the right
I
direction.
just think though, that's just like, isn't that defeating the
Where
object?
did you look? I don't want to hear from you.
I don't even know. It was we didn't like specifically go to a certain shop. We just walked past one in Liverpool one, didn't we? The one on the corner by Marks and Spencer's. We just looked in the window there.
The
expensive one.
What is it called?
I don't. It's not like a.
Right.
It's like David
Anyway,
Robinson.
The one
David Robinson it is. Yeah, Boodles.
Yeah, we literally just went to one. Just
shout out Boodles, by the way. Shout out David Robinson. Shout out to all the jewellery stores. Bloody hell, I haven't done a single shout out for weeks. Feels.
But yeah, that was our little window shop. But speaking of window shopping,
type of price range are you looking at? No, I'm interested.
It weren't about the price. It was just what I.
It's about the sentiment. Yeah. She's listening, isn't she?
No, it weren't about the price because the price weren't on them to start with. And when you kept going further down the window, you see like a couple of grand, and it's like, and then you go that way, and she's like, them ones. No price.
We haven't said this before, but when people talk about engagement rings, typically, I think from what I found anyway, that traditionally it's whatever your 3 months salary is. Now, obviously, we're not on salaries, so that's different for us, but you'll have to make sure it's like a January month. And your last 3 was January, February, March.
Listen, I'm not materialistic, it's not about that.
All right, she says in her rug slippers.
But speaking of window shopping, that's not the only shopping we've done recently. Do you want to tell us about our
I don't think people are like shocked to hear this, is that our little podcast, I mean, it is little at the moment because we're still in our early stages and stuff like that. But we have been looking for somewhere to make more of a permanent home. And also, as our connection has grown, which it has done over the last couple of years, we've seen ourselves be needing to be together more, let's just say that. So the idea to bring both of those things together was to get like a HQ so that we could have like a place where we all sit together, share our ideas, contribute on each other's work and stuff like that, and house this as a permanent spot so that people know it's there. And this week, I'm going to look right at the camera there. This week,
Today,
we are going to pick up the keys to that spot, which I can't believe I just said that I canvassed over the past 2 weeks.
hang on.
No. As well, you were on holiday, weren't it? I went to about 7 or 8 different locations, which we mentioned last week on Lee's one. And we've picked out the one that we think suits us the best in terms of everything, like what it costs, where it is, that type of stuff. And aesthetically is lovely for other people who are going to come in and use that space also. So, we picked up the keys today.
So, I'm sure on the next episode,
We
Yes.
will be in.
The next
on
episode
space.
will probably be from that space.
Yeah.
So,
and you have a little tour and all that.
well, yeah, we might even have like a little opening thing. We might get our mate Abby to do a little setup for us. You know, she knows how to do that these days, doesn't she? So, Abby,
If you're listening,
girl.
we're coming for you.
Oh, Hanlon. Can't get it in there. So, obviously, we said all along that it would always be a very guesty podcast. And over the last few weeks, we had a couple of guests on. And going forward, there'll be more and more guests on because we've got them all booked in now. We've figured it out, haven't we? We've figured out the trajectory of how to get it on. But this week is another one of what I think is our like iconic guests that we said before we started the podcast that we would definitely love to have on, who's one, a big, massive impulse in their industry specifically, and also to us is like a friend. So it ticks both of the boxes for us. So this week, I'm just got my little note here. This week, we've got another very special guest. She's, in our opinion, one of the most sought after hairstylists in the entire industry. And she's done weddings both at home and away. She's done celebrities, which we'll touch on all of these things. But for us, she's just one of these people that we just had to get on because her personality and her vibrance is a lot higher than most. So it's our mate, Bethan Steers.
Hi. What a lovely intro.
Good intro. Researched that, didn't I?
He's been rehearsing all week.
Read that. That was good.
And if I don't do nothing else, this podcast, I'm done.
Today, when we were getting you in, I thought, if we don't get you in today, the amount of times we've been trying to get
know,
things
it's been
just
a long
didn't
time.
work out. So
But that was a really nice intro. That was feeling the love. That was, yeah.
Valentine's Day.
That was I am a big sucker for love. Like, I love Valentines, as we were talking about before. I love the little things with Valentines. It's not the big things. It's not the Instagram posts that you see where the bedroom filled with balloons. And yeah, it looks gorgeous, but they're not meaningful. They're not real. They're all set up anyway, I think.
yeah,
Sentiment.
someone
Staged,
comes in and
isn't it?
does it for them.
Yeah, you obviously celebrated in your house.
Yeah, I mean, again, just little things like a little bunch of flowers, little cup of tea or coffee, you know, them little things. And obviously we've got the girls as well. So I think it's important to just share that little bit of love.
Yeah.
And I know people say, like, you can do it every day. But it is a month of love, like like as well. I think the reason I love Valentine's so much is my birthday's in February, so.
Oh yeah, it was your birthday last
It
week,
was my
wasn't
birthday last week.
Happy birthday for last week.
It was, yeah. So I just feel like I love February. I just think it's amazing.
It's a nice
Coming
month,
out of
isn't it?
winter, aren't we? And it's like
You're starting to feel that transition back into the warmer path.
I feel like everyone's ready to start going out again, aren't they, in
Yeah.
February? Where January, I do feel sorry for people with birthdays.
So-
in January.
January.
I am January, yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Shit, Betty.
There's a few in my family were in January, so for everyone who's have to buy us gifts, it's like
January kids.
Yeah, data.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be.
I was just going to ask you the question. I know I'm proper starting with
Straight in with the questions.
Yeah, straight in with the question. For us, in like a photo and video sense, are like weddings sort of start dying off, like back end of December, would you say?
Yeah.
And we don't come back till March. What's it like
Yeah.
for you? at
Yeah,
that
probably
point?
the same as you, really. I mean, I've done one wedding in January.
Okay.
So I'm the same. This is where I'll then throw in like doing me masterclasses and me training and stuff, just for a little bit of.
So you don't stop, basically. You don't have that switch off.
Well, that's what I've seen. Like, you haven't really had that switch off. I mean, maybe your content's just consistent or what, but
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? That though, I think you can show.
it's an opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or-
It's-
But then you're probably doing all your trials for like your future.
I'm
brides
doing all my
coming up.
trials and stuff. So I do me masterclasses, one-to-ones, trials, and then I don't know if you've just seen, but I've just started in a new salon called Nick Skin.
I
in
did see that.
Crosby.
Shout out.
Gorgeous. Shout out to
Shout
Nick
out.
Skin.
I know, sorry.
Done
Oh my
such
God.
a beautiful salon. So I've never really wanted to go and work in a salon before. I have specialised in weddings now for 15 years. And when people have asked me over the years to come in and, be a part of the salon. I've always felt like it wasn't really my thing because I've done it so many years ago.
Yeah.
With your like going back to salons, was there a reason behind it? Like, what was the whole?
Like,
you
did
know,
you always know you wanted to be a hairdresser? Was that like...
Yeah, I've always known I've wanted to be a hairdresser. Are we going to that? Should we go to
Origin
that?
story, yeah.
The origin
Where did it all
How
begin?
it started.
How it
let
all
us know.
began.
Braiding
How
hair in
began
school.
in my journey. Wow. So I was in a Morris dancing team years ago. And
come on, get your moves out.
Not enough space, you know. Like.
We'll let you off this time.
And basically we used to round up the troops for me to do the braids in their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I always loved hair from a young age, definitely. And then when I left school, it's mad because I think when you're in school, going back all them years ago, people would say like, you know, be a hairdresser or a makeup artist if you weren't academically clever. But I know I've always had a creative side of me.
Yeah.
That actually that shut down so much in school, isn't it? I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it should be definitely opened up more because I wouldn't say I'm not. Actually, I find like now I am academically clever right now.
Yeah.
But back in school, it just wasn't my thing.
What
It
you're
was-
interested
I think,
in, though,
Yeah.
I
isn't
think
it?
was
that
just-
without going like too away from like the fact that this is a wedding podcast and stuff like that, I think the whole idea of school and what school does to a young mind is it takes away that kind of entrepreneurial feeling of
Yeah.
like I think school sets you up for if you're working in like an office or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that because I did it myself, but it doesn't set you up for like your business savvy mind. So you can be very like clever, very switched on, academical, but in your chosen lane. I think that's where there's a
Yeah,
difference,
yeah.
and school doesn't teach you that. So any of the young ones listening who think
But
they haven't got a clue.
you touched on the creative side then, and at weddings, and obviously you're there purposely just to do the hair and stuff like that and style them all. But you're great at the content stuff.
Love
Yeah,
the content
I know.
stuff.
We picked up on that,
This is
didn't
another
we?
little thing I keep thinking maybe I need to go into content creating as well because I
I
have
th-
come
Yeah,
across
you
people
are.
Yeah.
that are doing it. And I think it's definitely
You're getting
a little
bit-
niche,
Can I just
isn't
say
it?
you are content creating already? Because
I
I think
know.
if you've got an Instagram at the moment, which yours is very consistent, you are already a content creator. You just haven't gave yourself the label.
Watch
Think
this
about it.
space.
Watch this space.
Watch out,
Watch
Bridal
this
Sky.
space.
I have noticed though
Hair by Bethan
the
is
past few
coming for you.
times when we've been at weddings and you've been getting stuff, and I've been like, oh my god, you're better than some
You
photographers.
think about everything about the lighting.
Some,
yeah.
Like just every little fine detail you think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, no.
And even like...
Definitely.
we've
Even just to
done
be
it-
aware of it is one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And even obviously for the hair, because obviously when we were getting like shots of like the couple, we're obviously making sure that the hair looks good, but not to like the fine strand that you
Well,
did.
this is the thing, I
Yeah.
think, isn't it? So obviously when we're kind of, hairdressers will back me on this, shoved a little bit out the way that we shouldn't be getting the photographs because the photographers, obviously, they're paid
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be the photographer. But obviously we make our money from having good work on our
course.
feed.
Yeah.
So I want to get my own picture because I want to style, like you said, Beth, every strand
Yeah.
to perfection. And they're not interested in that. Like photographers and videographers will take the bride out in the wind,
Yeah.
and the hair will blow everywhere,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
fine as long as it's. I know it's going to stay.
Yeah.
Put my name on that. Yeah. Put my name on that. But that's the thing. Like I want to get the picture when it's perfectly
Yeah.
sprayed and set in place. And
No, I was gonna say
Go on.
I know we've had previous conversations off the podcast about this, and I know we're diving in straight into it. But I know you've always had that little bit of a debate, and you wanted to ask us that question of, you know, does it bother you when, you know, a hair or makeup artist goes, I want to take photo of my work because...
Are you asking me this question?
Well, I'm asking it as open early
Open
because...
question,
okay,
open
let me
early.
just say this
Go
though,
on.
right? So I totally understand if you've made that bride run late in any way, which by the way I never have made a bride
Yeah.
run late.
Just putting it out there.
Just putting it out there, never ever.
Never
then
will.
I totally get that. Like, if I would never step in the way to take a photograph of my work if I've made a bride late.
Yeah.
Again, I've never made a bride late. So therefore, I feel like I have a right to be able to take
Have your
photographs
moment.
of my own work.
Yeah.
I think this
course you
throughout
do.
the whole wedding day, like the people who are dressed in the room, the florist, everyone who's there in the day who's basically brought their work to the wedding should have a right to take photos, videos. And me as like the person who's captioning the day, I will always say, no, it's your work, like
It's your
do
stuff,
it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then in our field, there's a lot of people who go, no. Like to get a bit of a cob on.
Well, we've been
Well,
there, haven't
we
we?
have,
I
yeah.
think you've
You-
experienced
you've
it.
been my back.
You experienced it firsthand, didn't you? Yeah.
Honest to God, swallow me up.
No,
Take
I think-
me away.
I think-
Bearing in mind that photographer was late and I was early, and she told he.
Not giving nothing away.
No controversy here.
She told me that I wasn't able to get photographs, but maybe not.
Do you think, like I'm asking you directly, do you think it is more the photo and video teams who are the ones who are like, what's the nice way to say it? Probably because the only people you see really before we go down to like downstairs and whatever. Do you think they're the most...
Like preventing you from
getting
your content?
Are they the most annoying people to have around? Like
the photographers and videographers. Do you know what? I feel like, I don't know about yous, but you end up working with people that you like working with. So when I'm with yous, it's fine. We get each other, and I feel like that's become a thing with other photographers and videographers with me now. It's very rare I work with people that I've never worked with before. So. That was one occasion.
That was one occasion for us as well.
I hope I never meet that again.
We're the same, to be honest with you, because it wasn't a very nice experience. But just swiftly moving on from that, I actually thought about this because with you taking photos and stuff and videos, I always like them. I always think, wow, they're amazing them. So you must get the brides afterwards saying, I love that more than the photographer's work.
So many times.
That's why I think it's important that you do it.
So the following morning, I'll always send the bride the photographs that I've taken that morning.
Next day teasers. So
they're the first photographs that always go up on their page. So I'm doing something.
So you've got an eye for it, and also the bride appreciates it. So I think in the morning, if any photographers out there, or any videographers out there want to give stick to hair and makeup girls, remember that it's the bride's day, not your day.
Yeah, and also I feel like just allow 5 minutes, because there is a lot that won't even allow 5 minutes. Just allow 5 minutes for us to capture our own work, because it's that what makes art, puts the bread and butter on our table. Do you know what I mean?
No, of course.
I feel like just if you can step aside for 5 minutes while we get
but
our work.
In a weird way as well, what you're saying that, I think sometimes it's nice to capture it from you capturing it, if that makes sense. So when you're capturing them in that position, I would stand on the angle and get it from a different perspective, like a different point of view, rather than where you're.
But it makes you, doesn't it? It makes you be a bit more creative.
Yeah, it does.
You think. By the way, talking about being in shots and stuff like that, I've literally been editing Poppy and Kev's wedding recently, which you were at. Now, the funniest part about this is, and I think maybe this is if we've got like mates, which we kind of have nowadays, haven't we? But I've got some pictures for you, because I'm conscious now of not just getting the bride in this situation, the bride getting her hair done, but the person doing her hair, because I know it's so important for you to have that content as well. Because it's like for us, like we've said this already, it's like we're always the one showing out our work, but our work is always the people's, the person's day, not us. And we're very conscious of trying to get more of us within our work, and that is probably similar for yourself. Like obviously you're a bit different because you have all your tutorials and stuff like that, but having content from us to you is you as well, isn't it?
That's
so I'll send you it anyway once I've sent it to them.
I appreciate that.
Poppy and Kevin,
it's actually very rare that I ever use a photographer's work. I always just take my own pictures. I don't ever use it. Obviously now, since
do you get sent it a bit then?
Do I get which?
Do you get sent stuff by photographers and that a lot?
No, not really.
Just
not
always
always. Yeah. Just again,
someone sends it then.
In the distance, they're capturing the moment, aren't they? They're not capturing the hair.
So you're always like this.
So I'm like, well, the hair's blown in the wind there, so I don't want to use that one.
You'd be surprised. I'll tell you.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see them, so thanks for
While we're touching on brides, I just had the question out of curiosity. Is there a specific way the bride should get ready? Should you do makeup then hair, or hair then makeup, or does it not matter? It just depend like how the schedule is.
Because I see it all over the place sometimes.
Would you prefer them to have the makeup done or get the hair done
I
first?
definitely prefer makeup first. I've come across one makeup artist that had asked could I do the hair first, but most of the time it works where the makeup gets done first, then we switch and I'll do the hair, because obviously when I'm setting all the front bits and the fringe, I've got to spray it all down and perfect it. And my biggest hate is when a makeup artist does the makeup and with someone with blonde hair and they have all orange in their hair. So if that happens, I need to get my baby wipes out and wipe that down before I'll even do the hair. So I'd definitely say makeup before hair. 100%.
So any brides who are listening, take notes, because she knows what she's talking about.
So.
If there's anyone you're going to listen to, Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So another question, and I asked this to Lee, because I think it's always good if people are listening who are brides and grooms planning a wedding and they want to get to know you a little bit more and stuff like that, and us vice versa, before they book, let's just say.
Yeah.
So, how far in advance you get booked up for weddings?
My 2026 diary is open now. So I'd definitely say don't leave it longer than a year, like a year in advance.
12 months is...
Yeah, 12 months. I'd say definitely get your wedding booked 12 months in advance. But, you know, last minute, I can also have messages. Like this month, I've had a couple of messages asking for people to be booked in this year. And I've had the odd little slot where I'm like, do you know what? I can squeeze that in there. Yeah, definitely. Not even squeeze it in. I've got time.
Yeah.
I think what I do a year in advance, I'll go through my diary, take out all the girls' birthdays, the kids' birthdays, my birthday, Steve's birthday, even like me mum's, me dad's.
That's lovely, that,
because as a family, we are like that. So we always celebrate birthdays, even if me mum went. I booked me mum's birthday off, which was last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry. And her and my dad buggered off and went to Hope Street Hotel and had a night there instead. And I was like, Mum, this is a thing. It's a tradition. We book off the birthday.
I thought we all did this.
Yeah.
I've chipped up 400 quid for this.
Yeah. So, and then our George, she's like, I've booked off her birthday, which is peak thing in June, and she's like, no, I'm going to Glastonbury, so I won't be available.
So if anyone's, Glastonbury weekend, she's free.
Yeah, I've never been to Glastonbury. I'd love to go there.
Oh,
though.
no,
I've never been to Glastonbury.
No.
Do you think, I think generally most people have been these days. I haven't.
Yeah, I would love to.
Matty's back, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, by the way, big whoop whoop for our Matty over there. He's back.
I'm enjoying the rest.
Scarlet's pimping out. I know. I bet. How do you feel without the headset on?
I know, it's lovely, I was like...
Beth's hands are switching. What's it?
Honestly, but yeah, it's nice to just relax and let Matty take over.
Is that usually your job, Beth?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, it has been the past couple of weeks. It's Matty's job.
And it's hard to concentrate, to listen in on the conversation, to switch the angles, to talk and not feel awkward when you know you've put the camera on yourself. But I don't know when Matty's switching the angles. So, I know it's on me now, though.
We need Matty. We basically need Matty.
Yeah.
Matty is integral.
Irreplaceable.
Integral part. Yes. If I don't say something,
so, high profile weddings, celebrity weddings, destination weddings. You've had your fair share of them. How do you feel when you do them? Do you feel the pressure more with celebrity weddings? Or?
No, I wouldn't say I feel pressured in any wedding, if I'm honest. And I'm not saying that like I just don't get pressured. I feel like I'm confident when I'm going to do a wedding. But celebrity is like, what is a celebrity?
I like that.
Celebrity's a person.
I think if you're doing this job and you go and do someone's wedding, it doesn't matter who the person is, because you're still there to do the same job that you've been paid to do.
I would never look at anyone like they were different, celebrity or not celebrity. Like, I've done your hair, Beth.
You're a celebrity.
I
know. Thanks.
Devin's on my hair.
You're not a celebrity.
Hey, that's right. That's hilarious. Actually, talking on that though, when the dads walk in every wedding, that's one thing that makes me laugh so much. Like, guaranteed. On a wedding morning, you're doing everyone's hair, and then the little dad just pops his way in and he's like, "Hi everyone, I'm the dad," and then he'll go like, "Can you do anything with my hair? Have you got any extensions?"
Fellas full on.
You know what's coming next. Like doing this 15 years, you know every little step of a wedding morning, and guaranteed that little popper comes walking in and he's like, "Can you do anything with my hair? Have you got any extensions?"
And I think it's such a good icebreaker though for him as well, just to come in and say that.
I think that's what it is, because they're a bit lost. I get the little pops, aren't they? They don't know what to do really.
I'd actually thought this before.
Oh, so sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
celebrity weddings. I just feel like I'd never look at anyone like they were any different, because they're not. They're just normal people when you walk in. It's like, it's funny, like I done a wedding in Tuscany once, and I'd always said, I'd love to meet this girl, Samantha Harvey, who's a singer. Shout out to Samantha Harvey. She's amazing. I absolutely love her so much. And I remember always thinking, I'd love to do her hair. Like, she's just so I just love her voice, and her hair's just gorgeous. And I remember, I'm a big manifester. I believe in manifestation. So we get to this wedding in Tuscany, and when it turned up, she was there as the singer. And she was like, "Hi," and we ended up chatting. And then she was like, oh, I've got a gig actually in Liverpool. Would you ever come and do me hair? And it was so surreal because honestly, I'd always said, I'd love to do this girl's hair.
And you went all the way to Tuscany to find that interaction.
Yeah, so much comes in your path for a reason. I'm such a believer in that. But yeah, so I went to do her a gig in Liverpool actually and done her hair.
That's amazing.
She was
amazing.
amazing.
No.
Which?
Was you nervous?
No, just excited. Yeah. I didn't look at her like she was any other person, just a normal person, because she is. And yeah, I'm not like, oh, she's a celebrity, I'm going to go bigger and better or do anything more than I would just for me everyday bride, because we're all as important as each other.
Definitely.
You know?
Do you know what?
Right, isn't she?
That's a quote that. We're all just the same. Doesn't matter where you are in life. We're all the same.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, I always think, I sometimes feel like a celebrity when I'm travelling the world.
Get me by the way,
I'm not shocked,
doing weddings, and Steve goes, I'll hold your bags if you want for you, babe. I'm sure you would, just to get on the holiday.
Do you know what though as well? I always think this when we do turn up at weddings and we see the likes of yourself, because you're the first person we normally see when we turn up to a wedding. And we always say this, when we know you're there, and this sounds a little bit weird, they're saying this, but when we know people like yourself, we just get on with like a house on fire. The minute you walk in, you do feel a bit like special in a way. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like you feel a bit.
I agree. Actually,
you feel it. Oh my God.
Because they all know each other at the wedding party. So when you walk into someone in the industry that you get on with, it's like, oh, I am. We've got a mate here too.
I think it relaxes like the bridal party as well. You think like, oh, these
we're all
obviously
together.
know what's going on. Like, this is going to be a nice morning.
Yeah, definitely.
This is what I was going to speak about before, and obviously it's up to you whether you want to talk about it or not. But your own wedding day. Because you are married.
I am married, yeah.
So I was just going to say, who had you done your hair or did you do it yourself?
No, my friend Leah, she done my hair. So me and Lee used to work together for years when I first started in weddings. No, I'd say like 5 years in. And I remember finding Lee, and I can't remember. Hair by Lee, she's amazing.
Did you do hair? We done her wedding?
We know exactly who she is. You're looking at me like,
I don't know
who she is.
Married.
We see her all the time.
I don't know, maybe wrong person.
No, you're
on
someone else.
Who else here?
Yeah, him. Yeah.
But then she's going to Lee as a thing.
I actually think her name's Liam. Anyway, she done my hair.
We know her.
Of course we do.
Yeah, you will. She's amazing. She's
incredible.
incredible.
Christmas at Laura Remarks.
Oh yeah, we love her.
We see her all the time.
Yeah, we do. We do see her all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely.
It's weird that we've never I don't think I've ever seen you together though.
No, I have.
We used to years ago. We'd done a few weddings together. Yeah. But Leah was always dead scared of the motorway and stuff. So she'll laugh if she watches it. So I used to drive us there to weddings and stuff. So we did do a couple together, and then Lee went more into like doing shoots and styling and stuff. And I stayed on the bridal path. And she does do a couple, but only based in Liverpool because she's scared of the motorway. Sorry, Lee.
She said that actually to us last time.
Yeah, we did speak about that, didn't we?
We speak about it all the time.
Yeah.
So you had her to your wedding?
So she done my wedding hair, and I had April Kitchen do my wedding makeup.
Okay.
And then I had the McKendrys.
Yes.
And Estelle.
Yeah.
You know Estelle? Yeah.
So film photo team as well, yeah.
Did you feel the pressure with obviously working in the wedding industry when it comes to your own wedding? Did you feel like...
Beth's asking because,
No,
yeah.
Did you feel the pressure a lot more because you thought, oh, everyone's going to be seeing what my wedding's like? Or you wanted... Obviously, I know you wanted something different because we've had this conversation before.
But I think I literally booked my wedding in 5 weeks, didn't I? And got my...
What?
Yeah. So
never knew that.
I got my dress 4 weeks before the wedding.
You are crazy.
Absolutely.
What made you do it in 5 weeks if it's a personal
we were
choice?
originally meant to go to Mykonos to get married.
Okay.
And then my mum had a brain hemorrhage.
Okay.
Absolutely fine. You'd never know
Amazing.
anything had happened, thank God, because she's like my best friend. And they were all saying, oh, Beth, just put it off for a year, you know, like, just still go to Mykonos, because I was like, let's just cancel it all, like, we'll just do something low-key in Liverpool, just keep it simple, which kind of, I'd always wanted that anyway. I don't know why I went off. Oh, I went to do a wedding in Mykonos, that's what it was. Went to do a wedding in Mykonos, me and Steve just fell in love with Mykonos, and we were like, let's just book it here now, there, in the beach club after a few wines. And we booked it. And we came home. That was in the September. And in the October was when my mum had the brain hemorrhage. No, sorry, it wasn't. So my mum and dad both got COVID, and they were both in intensive care.
Wow.
So that was just after we booked the wedding, which was crazy because they were saying they didn't know if my dad was going to make it through. Anyway, then a month later, me mum had a brain hemorrhage. And by then, because I'd just been excited in Mykonos booking my wedding, then my mum and dad got really sick all through November, December.
That's like...
I was like, I'm done with the whole, it wasn't meant to be my year next year, let's just cancel it. And we'll do it again, but we'll do it low-key. So basically, we cancelled the wedding, and then in February, my mum was all better and everything was going well for her. And she was like, Beth, you've got to get married, so just book Mykonos for next year. And I said, no, I'm just going to cancel. I mean, I'm sorry, guys.
No, you know what? We're asking a lot for you to remember all the dates and stuff.
Basically, so I just said, no, we'll just leave it for now. And then it wasn't till March I said, right, let's just book something. We'll go to the town hall, see what that's like, and if we like it, we'll book it. So then we'd be in the town hall, been to George's Hall, and then in June, beginning of June, we booked Liverpool Town Hall.
Yes.
And then a week later, I was like, I need to get a dress. I haven't got a dress. I haven't got anything. And this place is booked. So that's all we booked was Liverpool Town Hall.
Do you know, can I just, I don't interrupt you, because I think everything that you just said then was like, it was like blowing me away, to be honest with you, because I always think this all the time, and obviously we're not even engaged and anything like that, but it shows to me how much of like a family orientated person you are, and I'm very similar in that way. So sometimes when I think about us getting married, sometimes I do want to let's just do it now, because to keep family there, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in a way, was that like your reason? I know you sort of said it was really.
Yeah, so that was basically it. So then we done it. Then we went 5 weeks later. I got married, and we went to the brunch club. I love it. It was just really like when I say low key, we still had everything. It was still gorgeous. Yeah. We had everything we needed.
I was about to say, still spent a fortune on it.
Yeah,
there's no such thing as a cheap day.
But I said, like, to me mum and dad, you just pick your friends who you'd love to be there. And as we said the same to Steve's mum and dad, pick the people you love to be there. And it didn't matter about extended family who you don't see, you know, with the way people get really nervous about, I've got to ask
family politics, innit?
Auntie and uncle and this and that. Well, for me it wasn't about that. If I haven't seen them in the last 5 years, they don't need to be at my wedding. Like they're not in my life, and are still not in my life now after being married. So for me, it was more just being with the people that we loved, and obviously that's exactly what it was. It was such a big party because of that, because everyone there was no reason to be nervous or... And it was all
for the right reasons.
Yeah, it was just, it was perfect.
Honestly,
it was such a lovely day. I remember ringing my mum now and saying, Mum, I found this dress. It's in a place called Victoria Lou Bridal, and it was like 3 hours away. And I was like, you've got to come with me, Mum. Please come with me. So I was at a wedding. I was like, I'll be finished at this wedding at 2:00. So she couldn't drive at this point because of the brain hemorrhage. So she was like, gags to me dad. Poor dad's amazing, but he does everything.
That's what most dads do.
Gags, I need you to take me. Beth's found the dress, so I need you to drop me off at the wedding venue where I was. And me and my mum drove, got this dress, and on the way there she went, I bet you any money you don't come back with the dress that you've gone for. And I was like, promise mum, this is the one. Like, I've loved this dress for years. I know it's the one. And then when we got there, tried on another one and come back with a different one.
So many brides say that. There's so many brides say, like, I had this style and this vision in my head, and then when I put it on, I was like, oh no, and went for the complete opposite.
I know, so everyone says it. So it was quite similar style, but it was just, there was different. This one had like big sleeves that I originally wanted. And I still love it now. It's still a gorgeous dress, but the one I chose was obviously the right dress.
Yeah, no, you look gorgeous.
I think what I'm getting from it is everything was just very naturally fell into place. And we've spoken about this always before, and I think everyone does, is how sometimes, and we said it a little bit before about the Valentines thing as well, some people have a vision of what a manufactured wedding would look like, and they'll try and put in different things that aren't necessarily for them or for everybody else, whereas yours fell into place so perfectly, and it was the best for that reason.
Definitely.
So it just shows you don't have to be like you don't have to go by what people say you have to do and what you have to have. It's just more about what you want and what you're about.
I agree, definitely. And I think what I was really conscious of not doing was when everyone says like, oh, I've got to get the matching robes, I've got to get the matching pajamas, I've got to get them
collecting the set,
that it's why are you following what someone else is doing?
It's not your day anymore, is
just
it?
be you. Like, you don't need to do that. So I was very conscious of
This
them,
comes back to
them
me Valentine's Day
decisions.
thing. I just don't like to follow the crowd. Do you know what I mean?
I don't like to get engaged. Let me tell you.
But I actually, it sounds terrible to say this because obviously we've known you for a while, but it's nice to hear that side from you, to see like how family orientated you are, because I think I am, and I think that's more important to me than, as you say, the matching robes. Do you know what I mean? It's not important in the grand
It's an
scheme of it.
unnecessary pressure that people put on themselves that
People
just doesn't
put
need to be
so
there.
much
Don't
pressure
they?
on themselves, and basically you're just following someone else. Like, you're not actually just doing your own wedding.
Yeah.
You don't need to do the same as what everyone else does. Make it your own.
It's going to be so funny, the person who sat at home with the matching robe on now going,
No, what I think is just pass them on. Just pass them on. Don't
Recycle
leave them
them.
sitting in a box.
Yeah.
Once you've used them, pass them to a friend so they can, recycle. Exactly that.
You are right. You've been
Been
to
a
a
big
few
waste of
weddings, and
money.
maybe you have as a bridesmaid, where you've been given all like the robes, the glasses and all that, and I always say to you to keep them, because
Yeah.
I know you do keep them, but it's sad to say you don't reuse them, because you have your own dressing gown in the house that you like to wear. Or
I am a hoarder though. I like to keep everything. I've even got the glass RJ gave
Well, you can see
me.
by this room.
I know, yeah.
I'm a minimalist. I definitely,
like,
I'm in the charity shop every week.
Like
No,
all
I
the
think
junk.
because I grew up in me mum and dad, and me mum, is a hoarder. Like, they have bits and bobs. She's called Mary Poppins because everywhere you go, her bag is filled with everything. So for me, I was like, I don't want to be a hoarder.
I'm getting on the same page as your mum. I've got everything like that, but I've still
I know,
got
I've
the
been in all.
glass that RJ gave me for his wedding, like to ask me to be the best man, and it was his original date because of COVID, so it was like
cancelled.
2020 August, and I've still got it.
But that's the sentimental thing. Do you know what? You know what I've got in ours? Talking about what I'm not talking about myself, but when obviously we got married, ours was going to be like in that same realm of what COVID was, and got shifted, and we bought one of them, like, you know, like a sign that says "Welcome to our day" or whatever it says, and it gives you like the date and stuff, like you've just said. And Becky was like, "Well, we're not getting married on that date, so just lash it out." I've still got it. I'm like a big sentiment person, and even though that's got nothing to do, I'll never look at it probably. It's there, like, and I know it's there in my mind because it's a part of.
you should have just. I liked it when they put a cross through it and just wrote.
Well, that's what I. That's what I said. That's what I said. Do a little line to it.
Yeah,
It's a bit more
too.
real, isn't it? Like, but no, we got a different sign. So obviously, I think one of the things we definitely want to speak about with yourself, because it's been so talked about, I guess, between all of our like industry friends and whatever, and obviously we know you directly, so that is a big deal to us. But we've got to talk about this whole hacked account situation.
How would you feel, right, if your Instagram got hacked?
For me,
You've made up for the promotion
well,
afterwards.
I've off the back of seeing Bethan's account getting
Yeah.
hacked, and then not too shortly after, which Bethan knows about because I asked her what she did about it, my wife Becky's account got hacked, so she doesn't have access to her Instagram anymore.
Becky's,
Yeah,
Yeah, did
got
you
hacked.
I sort of remember you
But-
saying it, but I switched off.
But
I'm joking.
on the back of these two things, I was like, this is like a sign, this for me to like
Go verified.
get verified. And
Why
stuff.
aren't you verified?
Which I know I tried to do it. Well,
No, you haven't
I didn't.
tried.
Wait,
You haven't
wait. Let me tell you, I didn't get
Okay,
verified.
but I need to stop you there
Go on.
because I was meta verified.
What?
You're
Mind blown.
joking.
I was meta verified.
That was Matty, by the way, if anyone's
So
wondering.
many people have asked me this, and obviously meta verified for me, it was a bit like, oh, cringe, like
Yeah, it was cringe for us as well.
paying
This is why I didn't get it.
$10.99 a month to be meta verified.
To get a blue tick.
But it's
But the
protection
reason I
accounts,
got
isn't
it, well, the reason I got it is because you remember I had Be the Bride with my
Yeah.
sister.
Yes.
Well, that one got hacked, so I chose to get meta verified just because I was like, I don't want another account
Extra
to
assurance.
be hacked. But it made no difference. So basically, this is how crafty and how easy it is to be hacked.
I'm scared.
Honestly, it blows my
vulnerable, aren't we?
mind. Yeah. So I consciously made a decision when my girls are off over Christmas. This is going to be pure family time. I'd done 3 weddings in between Christmas and New Year. So every other day, I chose to not use my phone. I was
Okay.
like, don't want anything to do with it. And then back in January, I'll really push things. And I've been sent so much stuff as well. So I couldn't wait for January I was going to get it out there. So anyway, I was getting messages to say you've shared unnecessary content on your page. Therefore, we will disable your account. So I was like, I knew I hadn't, I'd never would anyway, but I knew I hadn't because I hadn't been on Instagram, full stop. Yeah. So it was like, weird, what's going on there? So I was out with my family having food. So we just thought, you know what, when I get in, I'll put the girls to bed and I'll deal with it. So when I got in, I put the girls in bed and I was laying in bed upstairs, and Pearl, my youngest, kept coming up and chatting. She just wasn't ready to go to sleep. So I was like, right, babes, come on, time for sleep. I need to sort this, because I was getting worried because they kept coming through saying, we're going to disable your account. And then it come up to say, if this is your email, click and we'll send you the link to...
So are these messages coming from a supposed Instagram meta place?
So basically, you know how crafty it is, which has done my nut in that I fell for it. But so my email was b.brides. So b. and then where they put the B was where the R was. And that's the only thing they changed in my email address. So when I was looking and I'm trying to get Pearl to sleep, and I'm like... That's mine. Didn't even think, because it just looked like my email address, because they'd only moved the B to the R.
Yeah.
So I just clicked it, and then that was it. They instantly added into my account.
Scumbag, that, innit?
Absolute nightmare. So the first person I turned to was Alicia Heap, because weren't you there? Her Instagram had just got hacked on Poppy's wedding.
Yeah.
So I messaged Alicia just saying, look, someone's just got into my account. Like, I don't know what to do, because... Then what was happening was, every time I go back on Instagram to try and get in, the email changed about 4 times. So they changed it so quickly in the space of 10 minutes. And I was like, it's definitely been hacked. Like, how am I going to get back in it? So Leash was like, don't worry, there's a guy called Junie and he gets everyone back in. You'll be fine. You'll just probably have to pay like £1,500.
How much?
Just sidestep that there, by the way.
Just a small fee of...
I know.
£1,500.
Do you know what though, Josh? At the time...
But you'd protect it with all...
At the time, I was willing to pay it. Like, I was like, it's my business. Like,
I think
I've got to get it back. So I messaged this guy and he said, yeah, I'll do my best. It was hard work. He was amazing, and he's done it for so many people. He's got the account back. But, you know, when you want something now... Yeah. And I was waiting like... days, and I'd say, have you heard anything? Has anything come back? And it was like, no, nothing yet. And then I said, look, I need to kind of know whether to set up another account now, just to let all my brides know what's going on, because it's been 4 days since New Year's Day. What a day to get hacked. New Year's Day. I think they're crafty though. I feel like the hackers do it on a day.
They prey on your insecurities.
You think you've been out, or you know, you're feeling a bit vulnerable the next day, because New Year's Day most people are. Well, I wasn't. I was absolutely sober on New Year.
Sober.
Stayed in with me kids. I was sober, but they got me anyway. So anyway, he just messaged me saying, I'm really sorry, unfortunately, on this occasion, I couldn't get your account back. And it was, it hurts. It does hurt, because you think 15 years, like, yous will be the same. Like, I've sat there, I've always ran my own account. So all that work, thinking of what to say, what picture to post, you take 40 pictures of one thing. And you're like, what picture to post, what you write, it takes up so much time and work, and you think all that time I've put so much effort into something, and someone's just come overnight, and what do they actually get out of taking it?
Is it the followers they want?
Well, I think so.
But what are they going to do with those followers?
Because them followers all know it's hacked, don't they then?
I don't know really these days if it's more of a you know, the way we are in this very technological world, and like there's a bot somewhere just literally destroying people's accounts with no apparent reason behind it. Because yours I can kind of semi-understand, because it had such a high follow count. But for my Becky's, in this case, she only had a few hundred followers, and they were all personal people. It weren't like a business thing where they could sell it. What was the actual reason behind it? And they didn't start doing what other people's accounts have happened, where they're like trying to sell them
the Bitcoins
or something stupid like that. Like, that just hasn't happened. I can still access that account now if I try and follow it, even though the username's changed, and still see everything as it was the day that she lost it. So what's the point?
Well, mine was just removed. So the minute you searched it, you couldn't find my name. And it
just seems totally unnecessary, doesn't it? But let's not dwell about what's happened.
I'm definitely not dwelling on it.
Let's dwell about what's happened since
the growth.
Because
believe it or not, I've been so positive, you know. And you know, honestly, I give thanks to everyone who's followed and shared that for me, because that definitely gave me the little Like,
Yeah.
the love, and this account now feels so authentic.
Yeah.
It feels so filled with love.
It's a fresh start again, isn't it, really?
It's a bit of a fresh start, and I don't know what the reason was to being hacked, but it's definitely done something for me in the sense of I actually appreciate now more all the followers that have done what they've done for me and are following me now, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what?
So she's had this 15-year account, which obviously you can go, yeah, it's built up, boss. And then she's been back for like a couple of months, and she's like triple what I've got already. So I saw for that.
Let's pretend your account's been hacked.
Me and my friend were laughing because she runs a nail account, and she was like, "Do you reckon I just shut my account down tomorrow and just put a post out there saying I've been hacked?"
I remember seeing you when it got hacked and being like, oh my god, obviously we shared the comments on the post and stuff, but I remember how many people in our industry was just like,
I was literally just about to say, talking about the love, I think this shows it's a good testament of who you are within that day to everyone, not just your commitment to the brides, but the people around you. We've always felt this anyway, but I think everyone else has definitely done so as well, because you couldn't switch on Instagram over that like few weeks from that point and not see somebody talking about you.
Yeah.
And
like,
do you know what?
Notifications like Beth from commenting on that post.
I know, but let me just tell you something. Like, if you know me anyway, I've never ever done a face post on my Instagram, on my old Instagram. I'd never show me face. But when it got hacked, a few people had said, Beth, you need to actually personally go on and show how you feel. And I swear, like, that post, I watched it that many times. The other day, I had to put it back off me pins because I was like, I cannot listen to that voice one more time.
I remember seeing it and being like, initially, if I'm honest with you, I didn't think it was going to be the hack thing, but obviously I knew it was a new account and stuff like that. But it was just... You have got an eye for it because like the setting and everything, you're just like on your bed, weren't you?
It was alright, wasn't it?
Why did it
very vulnerable. It's like one of them like documentaries.
I know, but that's where it's cringe. I look very vulnerable, and actually I was trying to be really positive.
But in the same breath, right?
No, you was very positive.
It was so authentic and real about it.
I think that's why it's probably did so much for so many people, because it was just it was the
it
truest form of you that it could have ever been.
I can't believe it. Like, honestly, like, I'm so grateful to be now, like, what, 6 weeks later, and I've got like 6,000 followers. It's like that's so good. Like, I'm so grateful.
You smashed
Can I just ask a little question here, because
Yeah.
I've just been thinking about it and I don't want to go rule past it, but obviously people may know who obviously are following you, but you have become like a bit of an influencer in your industry and in our industry as well, really, and as someone that people would turn to, and you've got to the point where you've started to be getting sent like hair products and whatever like that. Did that in any way affect you? Because I think what a lot of these companies or brands do when they're looking for influencers or going for people with high follow counts, was that conversation had between, well, you haven't got as much as a follower now,
So basically I had been sent so much stuff just before. So in December I got sent loads of stuff off GHD, a brand called Alpha Italia. I'd been sent loads of perfumes, jewellery, and sadly, I don't know who the jewellery company are and the perfume company are anymore because they were on the old account. But that's what I couldn't wait to do in January, was really put that stuff out there. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't really been in contact with GHD, the Alpha Italia. That's fine. They still want me to do stuff. But I do know of a lot of people like that don't get things sent to them because of the following.
Yeah, the follow count.
That is mad.
So I'm not going to reach out to anyone. I don't
think it is mad though. I think it's if you
we don't get sent nothing.
If you take it, you have got a decent following, haven't you? So I'm quite surprised that you don't. But I think if you take away the thought side of it and the emotional side of it, these brands are looking at it purely from a business strategy. So if you haven't got as much of a reach, let's just say, it's understandable they would question why they would give you something if it's not going to get out there, because all they're looking for is marketing and like direct influence. That's what the position is for. Obviously with yourself's different, because I think they know that behind the scenes you are you, and that's what they've obviously looked for.
I mean, I am going to definitely push that this year. I think it is a good thing to do. I think getting sent all stuff to try out, and it's amazing. You know, I am.
I can't wait for Nikon to start sending me cameras. If you're listening,
send us some cameras, some lenses.
The follow count isn't important.
I was just going to go on to question time. That's all right with everyone else?
Yeah, I think we've
Yeah.
touched that lovely there.
Yeah.
haven't we?
Really
Go on.
nice.
Question time in
Need
that
the
silly
little
voice.
jingle?
A little jingle, no jingle this week. I can put
No
it in
jingle.
post. Matty hasn't got a clue what I'm on about there, but
Can't
everyone,
use his feet to-
everyone listen to Lee's podcast, which was last week's episode. Go and listen to it. Thanks again to Lee for coming on as well. But we had a little jingle for question time. So, first question for you is... It's for you, Bethan, by the way.
This is questions that
They're
people
all
have sent in, by the way.
sent in
Sent
for
in.
you. Okay.
Okay.
First question is biggest hair no on your wedding day, and if you can guess who it's from, that'd be even better.
Your bonus point.
Biggest hair no as in like what style not to go for.
It just says biggest hair no on your wedding
I think
day.
it's your interpretation of what
Yeah.
a no would be then.
Oh.
Well, that's a bit.
Well, everyone's hair is so different.
Hair
so
up, hair down, hair extensions.
So this question comes from our good friend from Mimi Bell Events, and she's
Shout out
constantly
Mimi Bell.
trying to catch us out. So she loves it. I think she gets a buzz off
is
it.
she coming on?
She is.
Yes, she
She's booked in.
Oh, she's lovely.
So yeah, so she's going for the, she's going for
Biggest
the
hair
impressions.
no. Obviously, it's I don't know. Preference in what style?
Well,
I don't have a
your
preference. I just
Yeah.
feel like everyone's face shape's different, everyone's hair is different, so everyone's hair on the day is going to be different.
Do you ever get brides asking for recommend? Like, what would you recommend? What do you suggest? Or,
Yeah, loads of people
and
ask
what
me
would
what
you
I think.
suggest? Or does it
Again, depending on their
Yeah.
face shape, depending
Yeah.
on their hair type. I always say hair should be washed the day before your style. That's 100%.
Big
So
tip.
So that's one thing you've got to do really, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, but there isn't a biggest hair no.
No.
I wouldn't say. Sorry.
Sorry.
She's always looking to get us on stuff like that.
And then another one. You ask one?
I'll read one. So, is there a hair treatment regime you would recommend for your brides before their wedding?
So I've got a few tips with the hair situation. So these are good.
Strap yourselves. There you go. There you go. Can me and Ryan get any tips on
Right,
this?
okay.
yeah.
So doing this for so many years, I've always found different hair. I mean, some people are just born with really fine hair and there's not a lot you can do in that situation. But here's some good tips, I'd say, for building your hair back up into a good condition. So if you drink fizzy drinks,
Seriously.
fizzy drinks cause brittle hair.
Shout out.
Well,
Coke.
they cause brittle
See you
bones,
later,
don't they?
mate.
So they cause brittle hair also.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So you know when you wash your hair in the shower, do you cold wash your hair after you've washed it?
No.
No.
So all your follicles and cuticles are open. So when you get out the shower, your hair's going to fall out more if you then brush it. If you close it over with cold freezing water, you're going to keep your hair thickness a lot better.
Can I just throw this on me for a second?
Go
right?
on.
I know.
Like,
Where'd you learn this stuff?
She's an
Just,
expert.
I think just from
Yeah.
years of like
It makes sense when
playing
you're
with
washing your
people's
face
hair
and
and
you use
stuff.
cold water
Yeah.
to wash
Yeah.
your face.
Same for
And then
hair.
obviously when you're doing your conditioner, you should always like massage your head to stimulate your head. Always do that, yeah.
I feel like I'm at one of your masterclasses here.
Oh, yeah.
This is free.
My mind's getting blown every
This
second.
is
I
the
do
teaser
think
if anyone
this
wants to
is-
do the
I've
masterclass.
always kind of wanted to put this out for people. Evening primrose oil is amazing because it's a hormone balance, and I think a lot of women suffer from a hormone imbalance. So evening primrose oil is amazing.
I'm
just
not
put that
like
on
it's
your
me.
hair.
I'm like,
Especially
I
when
get
you've
it.
had especially when you've had a baby, like you know when you get all these little fine bits. Evening primrose
know
oil
what? I
is
hate mine.
amazing. Mine are terrible.
Mine are really bad.
I've got naturally curly hair, so mine are like wire.
Yeah.
Pew.
What else? I'm
I
dead
know.
no, what else?
So you can actually also, I used to cut the capsule of the evening primrose oil, and when evening primrose oil you can get from Home and Bargain, it's $2.99. It doesn't need
Shout
to
to
be
Home and Bargain.
expensive. Yeah. I used to cut the capsule and rub it around the sides of my head, you know, because this is where obviously us mums obviously suffer quite bad. That's really good. I also every night.
Just back to the oil. Do you put it on after you've washed your hair, or
is different
just
boxes.
whenever you
Anytime, that
Okay.
doesn't matter. You can put it on any time. I also sleep in it. Excuse me, boys.
Sorry,
Just
we
say
were
that
saying, use
we
your
just
boss.
step out the
We were
room.
like, this can be a spin-off on its own, me and Beth.
Yeah, go on.
Have
Sorry.
you needing female touch?
Okay, so this is the biggest change. This has been the game changer for me and my dry frizzy hair. A satin bonnet. I sleep in a satin bonnet every single night. Don't care what it looks like.
I need to Google this.
I don't care what it looks like. You can get a cute one. It can be pink.
What's your husband's name?
Steve.
So when Steve wakes up in the morning, he's like, whoa.
No, he loves it. He loves it.
Steve's got one as well.
Steve's
We're out in your state. We're out in your...
Sorry, Steve.
He actually should get one because he's had a hair transplant as well, Steve. So I feel like he definitely should.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to get him one. Yeah, only
His and
curls.
hers.
Yeah. Only curls, that's where I got mine from. And a girl told me about it when I was doing her wedding. Her hair was unreal, and she said, you've got to get one. Like, I sleep in it every night, and I did. And honestly now, like, you know, when I have a blow dry the next morning, if I sleep in my satin bonnet, my blow dry is perfect still the next day.
So you just leave your hair out and just put it in?
Yeah,
like,
literally just pop it in.
Does this mean I'm going to start waking up to Beth in the morning now with this on her head?
Well, it might even go over her eyes because I wake up in the morning, it's sometimes down there, but it's
little
protecting
mask
me
as well.
eyebrows as well.
Eyebrows like that on fleek.
This is
You've been
amazing.
too bougie these days.
These bougie questions. So, we have another question coming in from Jamie Lee Brown. Thanks for the question. And it's for you, Bethan, again. And the question is, best clip-in extensions to use for your wedding day?
Oh, okay. So my go-to would be Hair Choice and Beauty Works.
Yeah.
I like both of them, to be honest. Hair Choice are amazing I love the pony pieces and stuff where you can, basically, if you don't have much hair at all, then pony pieces work wonders. You can make such a gorgeous hair up out of a pony piece. So I love them. The clip-in extensions are also fab, and because they're just down the road, it's easy to get there. They're on, what's it called?
What's it called, street? I love that street.
What's it called, street? Oh, come
Ryan Street and all these, by the way.
So it's very local for me to
Yeah.
say to people, oh,
Go there.
nip up the road and go there and
Yeah.
get your hair extensions. So that's great, but I also do love Beauty Works, so they're my go-to, definitely clip-in extensions. And I do actually prefer clip-in extensions on the day than some sort of bonding or a weft or whatever way you have, whatever method it is. I prefer them to be on clips because I can then move them around to suit the hair up.
So, okay.
So go-to is clip-in extensions, Beauty Works or Hair Choice.
Lovely.
Lovely. Any more questions?
One final question. What is your wedding day hairstyling essential tool? So obviously you've got your basics, you've got your hair dryer, your brushes, but something that you...
100% got it. I know the answer. Me GHD classic curl tongue. It's amazing. I couldn't live without it. It curls. I'm literally whiz. Curl in 5-10 minutes, and then I've got the hair put up in 5-10 minutes. 20-minute hair up done for everyone.
You know what I've also seen you use, which I'm not seeing you be used by other hairstylists much, is your crimping.
Me little root crimper. I do love that as
Give
well.
all the
Definitely.
tips and secrets
I know.
away, dear.
All right, well, we can cut that out.
Yeah, we'll just bleep that bit and just keep everyone
I
guessing.
love me little root crimper. It is amazing, but obviously the GHD tongue is what does everything.
Yeah.
But the root crimper is great for anyone who, I feel like when you're back combing hair, back comb kind of falls out. It doesn't hold, especially if your hair is really soft. Whereas with a root crimper, have you ever seen it?
Yeah,
It's so jagged into the
Yeah.
head. It's not going anywhere. People will message me a week later and say, my root crimp's still in. I've still got volume in my hair. So the root crimp is amazing too, yeah.
I can just see all the girls at home listening going, and what was that again? Around that bit.
I can't wait to go and order
Save
this,
that.
my satin bonnet and my oil.
I'm just sitting here thinking because my Becky suffers from her hair falling out all the time. I find it everywhere. This is probably one of the biggest. I can't wait to address it. Do you know why your hair always falls out? Well, let me tell you.
Sit
Yeah,
back.
do you know, I actually was going to start a little business with like a pamper box. So when people messaged me to say,
There you
this is what my hair is like, what do you think I should use or do to make it better?
Here's your box.
Here's your little pamper box I'm going to send you out. I was going to do that over Christmas. And then I got hacked and other things have happened. So I might still do that, definitely,
I think you
because
should.
everyone's hair texture are no different for.
Yeah.
Like if your hair was, mine's obviously dry, curly and fuzzy.
That's mine.
So I know what I need for mine, but I also know what someone needs if their hair's really fine and greasy and doesn't get volume. I know all them things as well. So
Well, we'll put it out there to a little poll for
Put it
you
out there,
to
maybe,
see
yeah.
who would be interested in such a thing.
I think I would.
Definitely
I
got
think
my
I would.
vote. Yeah.
Because
But I
here's
don't
your
know whether
business
to put it
booming here.
out there.
Again.
I don't know whether to put it out there before someone just goes before I move. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
So
one of
maybe
them.
cut that.
You've already
But they'll
got
come to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You've already got the brand, the
It's
look,
the knowledge,
everything.
isn't it? I suppose
Yeah.
about
A million people can do a million people can do a podcast, but they won't come to that podcast for any other reason other than the people that do it. They'll come back to us for that reason.
Yeah.
They'll come to you before that
Yes,
reason.
definitely.
So don't let that be a hurdle.
Well done, by the way, for answering all them questions, because that was like a lot. And you were
Was
giving
it? Yeah.
all the information that you gave was, you know, educational for us, me and
I
Ryan.
was sitting there like, I felt like dead. You know,
It's where
sometimes...
they've got the satin bonnet on now.
She's talking about Beth's got to have it on, he's got to have that on over his eyes and everything. Like, check my eyes.
But I think there's going to be a lot of, you know, brides and even grooms listening to the podcast who take a lot from all the information that you've given. And even people who, you know, when they come into planning a wedding, just like, we touched on it when you went to the toilet before, breaking the fourth wall. But we just said, like, when you spoke about your own planning process and the reasons behind it, I think a lot of people will relate to that. And I think, like, good on you for just being really open and honest
Yourself.
about it all.
Yeah.
We knew that you would always be yourself, so that's why we're... Another big reason why we wanted
Gotta
you
be,
on.
haven't you?
But, can I just say...
Before we do wrap the episode up, Ryan's
Before we
been
wrap it
wanting
up-
to get this in for weeks.
Wait there. I've had this box sitting in ours for weeks now. It's probably a nice time to be able to do this. And don't get me wrong, the people who've been on before, you'll see why.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm just about to move over here a second.
What's the
We
cameras?
have no idea what's
Yeah.
in this box.
Oh, okay.
He's been dying to
What's
show
the
us
leads?
for ages,
Lead.
and we kept forgetting.
Do you want to put it on me? I've got space. And you can,
This is exciting. Wow.
To be honest with you, it's not a big deal. It isn't a big deal, but I think it is.
He's made it a big deal.
Funny, it's become a big deal now
I feel
because
like it's a personal deal.
well, the last two things. So we had a little thing, didn't we, through before Christmas? If you ever watched the podcast before, that I started bringing little things in, didn't I? Like I brought
you
the
did.
cake, I brought you some dressing
Presents.
gowns.
Yeah.
I live in
I just
one.
seem to bring in little things, bring the Win-Win Water. Do you remember them? Shout out Win-Win Water.
Yeah.
So there was always something that I brought, and we said that it'd be a nice thing if I brought something in each week and had like a little segment.
pressure.
Right? It's not pressure to me. I don't feel that pressure. But like this was one of the things that I thought not only gives back to us as giving something in a thing, but also gives back to our audience as well.
Okay.
So it's the first step towards being present without actually being present. So
So I've got a gift.
I haven't got a clue.
you might have a gift.
This is exciting.
I got these little things. How many of us did? 1, 2.
Oh, I love this.
I have no
know,
idea.
I feel like
Have you actually opened the box to make sure they're the right thing?
Yeah.
All right, fair
There's
enough.
only one thing in there. The other thing that I got, if you could see here, is a little aisle chat thing.
Cute.
These will be up and around at all of our wedding fairs.
It probably won't be on focus on the podcast, but we...
But if you scan this, no, don't do it, Matty.
We ain't going to do it
If you
anyway.
scan this little QR code at any of our wedding fairs that we're at, you'll be able to link directly to our thing. Anyway, so as well as that,
Moving
as
on.
well as that, I actually ordered these little things a little while ago, and I am kind of excited about it. Let's be honest. No. So I thought when people normally listen to this, they can listen to it all over the place, probably in the car, but probably a lot of the time at home when you've got like a little bit of downtime. It's typically when people do. And what you do when you have downtime, you have a little drink. We've got them ourselves here. And wouldn't it be nice to drink it out of a little?
Yes!
With the aisle chat on.
Really nice. I love
So
that.
obviously they're very like,
That's going to be on like
you know what I
every...
mean, just a nice little cup like
right,
that.
I think that's. I knew it was a personal gift, but you know what? I also think it needs to be as well.
on.
The three of you on the picture, doesn't it? Do you agree?
Right. Right. How funny is this, by the way?
Is the next cup coming out different?
No. So funny we should talk about this because only last night, and I don't know if he was baiting, but our mate Josh
was
was saying
baiting.
about our logo needed to be changed. I don't think it does need to be changed because it is us.
That's
Do you know
us.
what I mean?
is.
And
That's
it's-
us three,
Yeah.
innit?
that is the first picture that was on our Instagram that we've had like kind of cartoonerized,
Sketched,
if
yeah.
you like, etched. And that's now us now. But I got one of these for me mates. Obviously, there's yours.
Pass it along.
Oh, that's
There's yours.
lovely.
But I thought going forward, when we have a guest on,
Give them a cup.
give them a little cup.
That's
So if you
so
could pass that to our
kind.
little mate
Oh, thank
over
you
there.
so
I've got one for you as well, Matty. Don't you worry, lad.
Lee and Abby, who watch this
Right.
podcast, go, when we on that podcast, we didn't get a mug.
So,
That's
that-
really
that
kind.
was the
Right,
idea.
All
thank
your
you.
hair tutorials, the cookies.
so everywhere you're at now, if anyone says, do you want a drink?
No
Yeah.
Stanley Cup and anything like that.
If you could put it in the our chat cup, that'd be great. But that's for you to keep. And we're
Definitely.
gonna
Oh,
obviously
thank
we're
you,
gonna send one to
Rai.
Lee. We're gonna give one to Abby as well, and all of our future ones. But
How much these cost?
Well, it's all in the marketing budget, to which there is one somewhere. But this is the other thing. Big,
isn't it?
So obviously we've given them out to use.
How did you get in?
Do you want me to go here?
But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just say 5 because Matty's got one of these. 5. Which means we've got 5 cups spare from this box.
Thank
okay.
you.
So you're giving to our fans.
So I
Any
thought,
fans?
wait for
Mum,
it.
Dad.
Because we do have like, I know we always joke about your mum and dad and stuff like that, but we do have people who listen all the time and they'll know who they are because they listen all the time. But we've got 5 cups spare. And I was going to say, off the back of this particular podcast episode, if people wanted to share the actual like podcast when we announce it, that it's out there and stuff like that, we will pick 5 people to receive a cup.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
So they'll have their own version of merchandise in their home, and then obviously we'll give them out from.
He's not
from
just
there
a
on out.
That's
podcast
lovely.
host.
Listen, I am.
He's a
Thinking of it
man.
all.
It's the little touches though, I think, isn't it? They go a long way, so that is gorgeous. I'll be made up having me cuppa in there. Thank
It's
you,
big.
Ryan.
You can drink from it.
Yeah.
What more?
Sell me this cup.
Sell me this cup.
Yeah, no, doesn't need to be sold. But yeah, no, I've
thank
been
you.
wanting to give them to you for a couple of weeks now. Obviously, you have noticed it. But obviously, it's nice that
That's
I
why
can
I've been
give one to you
out of
as
paper
well.
cups because I haven't got me.
Being replaced. But yeah, I think that ends my part quite nicely. I'm off.
It does. So before we do wrap it up, I just want to say thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
You
thank
absolutely
you.
smashed it because
To
before you
pieces.
come on, as everyone does, everyone feels a little bit nervous and overthinks things. And I must admit, before this even goes out, you've literally just been yourself, which I'm
that's
buzzing
nice.
because when you watch it back, you'll be happy that you see yourself, not someone you
Someone
tried to
else,
be.
yeah. I mean, the whole way here I did drive, like singing me heart out the top of me. Like, I'm going to be fine at this.
Come on, then, give your rendition. What song
No.
are you singing?
Abby's listening.
No,
judge.
I'm actually going to Manchester now
Okay.
to do a couple of people for the red carpet tonight.
Oh, just
Just slip that in
Slipping
there.
it in at the end. No, I'm no name dropping.
No,
No,
you
name
can
dropping.
right, we'll cut it out. Cut it out. Give me a name, I'll cut it out.
Well, tell us at the end. Don't
Yeah,
cut
tell
it
us at the
out
end.
Yeah.
We all want to know.
If you want to sign up to our Patreon for that extra content, you can. I'm all about the business
In
now.
6
I'm all about
months.
the business.
I'll be back.
But yeah, anything to say?
No, just to echo what you said, really, like we knew, and we've said it already, we knew that you would be a perfect person to have on this. You've got a lovely reach and a great community, and we're
Just your
happy that
aura,
you-
like we see your aura at the wedding days, and like you're not just the hairdresser, like your personality, you are infectious on the day. You're that calming environment, like
Yeah.
you just
My
bring
Becky
so
loves you.
much more.
Oh,
we seen it at Abby's
really?
event, and you met
Yeah,
Becky for
yeah.
the first time. She hasn't stopped going on about it. To be fair,
Oh,
almost like I'm getting
really?
replaced.
So I think that's in a nutshell. People book you because you're really experienced and you're
Good at what you
talented.
do.
Talented.
You're talented at what
Right
you
back
do.
at you though, guys.
But you're not just getting booked for that reason as well. They're booking you for you.
Your personality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Thank
thanks
you.
again for coming
No,
on.
Thank
And
you for
it
having
It won't be the
me.
last time she comes on, by the way.
No,
She'll be coming
I'll
on.
be back,
She'll be
definitely.
back.
Revisit. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening and see you on the next one.
Bye.